Jessica.
I'm Emmalynn.
And in today's video, we are going to be making a massive unhaul. But first, we thought we would give you guys a little life update. You may or may not
There you go.
have noticed, but we've been a little absent. And that's because
we
moved. And we moved from Washington State to North Carolina. I drove with my husband and our younger daughter Ellie, and then Emmalynn flew out a week later.
I'm the favorite kid. So.
And we've been grinding ever since, trying to unpack and get our house set up and furniture ordered and put together and organizing and getting rid of things that we're like, why did we even move with this?
Yeah.
Like a lot of these books.
Yeah. Absence did not make my heart grow fonder. I was like, oh, I forgot about you. Why did I keep this? So instead, we just bought new books.
Yeah, and we also were like, we're running out of room. Let's get down to business. Mm-hmm. Some of these, I can't remember if I've unhauled, but since I still have them in my possession, we're going to do it again. Mm-hmm. And the first thing is this really pretty box set, actually, of Shadow and Bone. I enjoyed this, but not as much as Six of Crows, so I don't really want to keep it. Mm-hmm. I will say this book is by far the prettiest.
That one's my favorite.
But yeah, I don't really want to own these, and they take up a lot of room, so we're gonna get rid of them.
My first book is Tell Me Three Things. I can't even remember. I think I really liked it.
Didn't you just finish it? Oh no.
Yeah, I read this not too long ago, and I got it for super cheap at a thrift store. I enjoyed this book. It's just a YA romance. I liked it.
And if you wouldn't reread it.
But yeah, it's just, like, if I really wanted to reread it, I guarantee it's always available at the library. I just didn't feel the need to keep it.
This next book, I don't even know what possessed me to pick this up. I feel like I've had this for years. Mm-hmm. I feel like someone talked about it. I don't know. I am kind of having second thoughts about getting rid of it, though, because I think it's in North Carolina.
Oh.
So it kind of makes me want to read it. I don't know. But it's about like a young girl who gets married at a very young age, and then they live, it looks like, in the backwoods of North Carolina, and just kind of about their life and their marriage. I mean, it literally says the story of a marriage, so I'm guessing that's at the central point of the...
You're pretty smart.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. If you've read this or heard of it, let me know. Maybe I'll keep it. Or maybe I'll just get it from the library. That's a good solution, too.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get this over with.
Oh.
So, I was influenced. And I'm not trying to be rude. I saw Hallie from the Common Room Shop post about how much she loved these books. And she's a Percy Jackson stan. So, like, I like Percy Jackson. She's another level. I wanted to read these books simply for the Percy cameos. I didn't care too much about the rest of everyone else, to be honest. And I started it, and I don't jive with the main characters. I kind of think they're all really annoying. And
But is that because it's middle grade? Like, are they annoying?
No, it's like multiple POVs, and I just find myself skimming a lot to get to like one person's
the one you
POV.
like, yeah.
And I just feel like they're all kind of long for a
Don't
middle
have a
grade.
bookmark in that one.
Yeah. See, I was almost done. I was just like, it was inducing a book slump. I don't know. It felt like it was trying to be Grover, Percy, Annabeth, because it's two guys and a girl, and it was just, I didn't like it as much. And so I feel like I'm holding on to it for No reason. I got them all from a thrift store, so I didn't like blow a bunch of money on these brand new books, but it's a little disappointing.
Speaking of inducing a book slump. And Unravel Me, which like even saying the title Unravel
The
Me.
one
And, like
Ignite Me is the one.
It makes me want to just crawl under this chair, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Shatter Me. There were so many cringe moments.
But
like,
it was like still a good time.
yeah, it was like you kind of wanted to know what was gonna happen just because it was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Unravel Me was just so like.
It's so long.
It's also so similar to Hunger Games. Like, I just couldn't get past how, I don't know, I just felt like it was copying the ideas.
I know that this was like the times, but I really don't care. I just could not, I can't stand her.
No, and none of the characters. Actually, there wasn't a single one that I really liked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How much of this did we read?
We
read the novella,
We read
too.
the first book, the novella, and then like probably 50 pages of that one.
Yeah.
And we were filming a video, and it was funny. It was a funny video, and I'm not going to post it because
No.
it was one book.
But it was also just like, we can't. Like,
It wasn't like guilty pleasure, like,
yeah,
how I
like
read,
the
like,
selection.
yeah,
Like,
I binged the selection because it's fun. But this,
it wasn't.
I don't know.
It was just annoying.
Excite me.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
That's what. It
didn't
was
excite
just
me
annoying.
at all.
It was like bad and annoying. I'm sorry. If you like this, I'm sorry. I'm sure you have your reasons, but I have mine, and that's them. Like, I don't know what else to say.
We tried.
And I really wanted to like them, and I wanted to be like, oh, I've read all 23 of them. I don't know. But I couldn't. And I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Okay, my next book is The Girl on the Train. I think I got this at a library sale. Why do
Also
I have
has
a
a
bookmark
bookmark.
in it? I've never even started this.
Look
at the discoloration.
Yeah, why is it like that? I was just about to say that.
Very interesting. Don't
I read it and I liked it.
If I read it, I'll get it from the library. There's just so many. The problem, I have a really hard time picking up backlist thrillers specifically, just because there's so many new ones out that I really want to read, and I'm not in the mood for a thriller a lot. And so when I want to read something that I'm super excited about. So I don't know. I'll read this eventually. I know I will, like probably on a plane or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, the cover's beaten up and stuff. I just don't feel the need to keep it.
That's fair. Okay, this I've had forever. I've had it for sale on Pango forever. I've tried to sell it at the used bookstore. Guess what? No one wants it. No one wants it.
We need to donate it. Mom.
But this is A Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. This is the only Rachel Hawkins book I've ever read, and it's the only one I will ever read. This is a Jane Eyre retelling, in case you didn't know, which is what hooked me, but it did not live up to the standard. And I mean, it was like fast paced, like you wanted to know what was gonna happen, but I did not like it. I don't want to own it. The end.
Okay, next up for me, we have all the Percy Jackson books, except for the new one that just came out.
Oh, you're just...
And I love these so much, but I want the new covers.
Oh, okay.
Especially because, like, the new book is with the new cover. I don't want to buy that one and then have these
What is
five.
this little thing hanging
It
out?
came with, like, a poster.
Oh. So cool.
So...
You could keep the poster.
No. Yeah, I love these. I just want the new covers. I think they're really pretty, and I want to read the new book.
That's her. Okay, I'll just piggyback off of it. Hang on. Hold on one second. Speaking of new covers.
Speaking of damage.
So...
Where's the second one?
Well, the second one I donated because it was really messed up.
Oh.
Okay, this is one of our most beloved series ever. Like, this book was the first book I was reading when we made our bookstagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it kind of made me, I mean, I've been a reader my whole life, but this made me, like, really love reading it, and fantasy especially again. And I love this, and that's why we want the new covers. Like,
and
I want to own the new covers.
Damaged.
Yeah, they got kind of damaged moving here.
And we wanted the new covers anyways, but then we were like, oh,
the
they're a little
second
beat up.
one, the second one got really damaged, so I donated that one. But yeah. Also, all of these books will be on our Pango. Shameless plug. If you would like to purchase any of them for very cheap, we'll make you a deal.
Another YA romance. I just haven't read it. I've had it forever. I've definitely, my reading taste has changed a lot. I don't know, something just switched, and I like don't really like YA books very much anymore. Lynn Painter's an exception. Jenny Han is an exception. YA fantasy is different. I just get tired. There's a very specific blueprint for YA romance books, and unless it's like, I don't know, in the summer a little bit, but I want more depth. I've been very much more into like women's fiction with some romance. Nora goes off script, those kinds of books. So I just don't see myself reading this, and if I do, it'll be like digitally at the pool.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't want to get this damaged there anyways. So.
Okay, this next book I actually just finished in the month of June, I think June.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still June? It's still June. I think it was, I don't remember, but I just finished this. I kind of just picked this up because, one, I've never read anything by Nora Roberts, and two, this has an insanely high rating on Goodreads, and so that really intrigued me. It's like, I think it's like 4.5 or something like that.
Dang.
And it is set like in Ireland, and then there's fantastical elements. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna try something by her, I think this would probably be the winner. And I did really like it. It was super easy to follow, super easy to read, and I plan on continuing this series, but it's just not one that I think I would ever like reread or revisit. And honestly, the cover is not all that great to me, so I just don't really care to own it, but it was a good time.
Okay, I have another series, and this is the American Royal series. This is a guilty pleasure series. If you're like, this, I think I read this right after the selection. I like wanted something similar, and I loved these books. I still haven't read the last one.
I still feel like Ellie would really like those.
She would.
But she just won't read.
Yeah.
The girl won't read.
They put the same review from Sarah J. Maas on the first and second book.
Oh.
That's funny. And very obvious.
But is she
the only review on the back.
The same exact thing
No.
about both of them? Like,
No.
that's interesting.
Anyways, I haven't read the last one yet. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I don't think I'm going.
Oh no.
There's just a trope in it that I just, for a last book, like, why would you do that? So, I don't know. I might do it and just be like, well, I just want to know who ends up together, honestly. And just skim the person that's bothering me. I'm trying not to call them out. Yeah. I think the covers are cute. I like the books, but I never bought the third one because I read it digitally. It came out as hardback. Wanted the paperback, so just, why am I keeping these?
Yeah. Okay, this book I actually got from HarperCollins. I think it was in, oh my gosh, it was a while ago, sometime early this year. But this book is called The Bachelorette Party by Carissa Ann Lynch, and this is set in New Orleans at a bachelorette party. Shocking, I know. But it says 6 women, 1 body. So they go to New Orleans for this bachelorette party and someone ends up dead. And you're basically trying to figure out it's like a murder mystery, basically. They're trying to figure out who did it, how it happened. The ending is wild. I will say, like, it did have a pretty good plot twist at the very, very end. A big plot twist. And it was, like, super bingeable to read. It was almost like watching a reality, or like a reality show. I don't know. But it was a good time.
I have a copy.
We have 2 copies. Like, if you're wanting something to read by the pool, I think this would be, like, a really good bingeable thing, or like on a plane or something where you want to read something easy and quick and mindless. This would be a good one to pick up, but we have 2 copies. We don't need to. The end.
Okay, next up I have this book. It's called Famous for a Living, and I have beef with this book. I talked about this in my wrap-up.
Yeah.
I think it was my April wrap-up, actually. I liked this book. It was more of a women's fiction, but okay, the cover is giving summer. The back, it says it's like a rom-com that's hilarious and a romance that will melt readers' heart, and I swear, like, the last chapter was romance. The rest is all like a women's fiction, which is fine,
but don't
false
market,
advertising. And the cover, this takes place in winter.
No, that's just so wild because, like, there's flowers.
Yeah. And okay, if you were smart and read the synopsis, you would know this takes place in the winter, but I didn't.
Also, this was like on clearance, right?
It was like $2
at half price books. Yeah, I remember
and
that.
It was good. Like, I liked it. I think the cover's super cute, but I just don't need it. I already read it.
And she's hang on, let me see if I'm.
You read something else by her.
What was it? Oh yes.
Love on the Margins. Or?
Yes, Love in. What does that even say? Meet me in the margins, and it was very cute.
I mean, you can read this if you want to. But it's more of a women's fiction. I mean, it says Kat's world shifts from the swirling haze of likes and comments to literal blizzards and frostbite temperatures and waist-deep snow. They have, like, winter sports. Like, I just don't understand.
That's just weird. That's not...
Because it's hard to find, like, books set in the winter that aren't Christmas. So, like, if I would have known this was set in the winter, I would have waited to read it. And I don't like reading the synopsis of romance or thrillers. They give too much away. I read, like, this first little bit, and that was enough for me. Whatever.
Okay, again,
it's not that deep.
I don't know if I've unhauled this or not, but this is the Beautiful by Renee something. And this is a really good fall read if you're looking for something kind of gothic. It's set in New Orleans in the 1870s, and there's like a court of vampires, kind of. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, the vibes of this are really good. I feel like if the reason you're reading this is because you think it's like a vampire book, it has vampires in it, but they're not like the main focal point of the story. So if that's what you're wanting, I don't know that this would be for you, but it is really vibey. I did like it, but I just don't know that I care to own it. I don't think the cover is like aesthetic either. So the second one is called The Damned, I think, and I don't want to own anything that's called The Damned. I don't know. That's a me problem, I guess. But it was a vibe. I just don't want it.
Fair. I also have a fall read. This is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. And the reason I'm getting rid of this is because as soon as I read the first one, I read them all. I think I just have like I think it's kind of like a novella, and then the last one. Like the real last one.
Love?
But the original trilogy, I read all of these immediately. And so because it's a mystery and I know what happens, I don't really care to buy the other ones now that I've already read them. So I don't feel the need to keep the first one either.
That's fair.
Are you done? Oh, no.
I have 3 more. Okay, this we bought to read for a video because this was when there was all the hype
and conflict.
Yeah, was it
Controversy.
hype? Yeah, controversy surrounding Lightlark because of how it was being like marketed and blown up on TikTok and Instagram. So we were like gonna read it and just try to stay unbiased in our thoughts, but then we just like lost interest.
Didn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's so bad, but the author gives me the ick. Like I just don't want to read it.
It sounds. Oh my gosh! Did you read some of this?
Yeah.
I didn't know you read any of it.
Yeah, I just don't really care.
Okay, so you did not like it?
Oh my gosh. I got this like 2 years ago.
Remember you're always like, I can't find... Aren't you missing a like Draco Malfoy one too?
No, he's there.
He's recovered.
He's present.
I don't know. I just lost interest. You apparently didn't like it. I didn't even know you started it.
It wasn't bad, but I wasn't like, what's gonna happen next? You know?
Yeah. So. Okay. So yeah, we're just not interested in that anymore. That's all there is.
Okay, I'm gonna combine two actually. Just a quick little classic roundup. We have The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I bought this because I wanted to watch the show. And based on like the trailer I've seen for the show or movie or whatever, it's very different than the book. I think I finally took out my bookmark. I did not have that much left of this, but I wouldn't call myself like super intellectual, but this is really hard to understand to me, like because I didn't care. I didn't care to understand or like pay attention to the words, and this is the kind of book where like you can't skim it, obviously. And so because I was so uninterested, I was so confused. And it's just not like as haunting as I was hoping. Like I wanted it to be scary, and I didn't think it was scary. So yeah, and then we have The Body in the Library by Agatha Christie. I read this book. I liked it. I don't really think I'm a Miss Marple girly. I'm a die-hard Hercule girl, and this is a Miss Marple book, and you know, another mystery. Read it, liked it, kept it on my shelf for years. I don't think I'm gonna reread it, so I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Okay. This is The Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I have read this. I feel like I read the first two books and started the third a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I liked it, but this cover is just super cringy. And if I decide to reread it, I will probably just reread it digitally, or I'll get the new covers if I could find them used. But I just don't want this cover. I mean, it's like giving, when was this written? It's giving like early 2000s. Did you hear that?
Yeah. 2011.
Oh.
So you made me like
yeah,
3.
I thought it was like, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, my next book. I'm like so ashamed.
I'm kind of surprised you're getting rid of that, honestly. Did you read it?
No. I've just had it for so
It's
long.
so cute.
If you're okay with me keeping it in here, maybe I'll.
You can replace it with where I took Shatter Me Out.
I don't know. It's just like not calling to me. So someone tell me if you've read it, because there's just so many witch books and I love a good witchy book. But this one just doesn't feel like unique to me. Mm-hmm. And so I just haven't wanted to read it. And I feel like all witch books are dual POV. It has to be like during the Salem witch trials and during right now. And could we just have the Salem witch trials?
Yeah, I don't
like I don't need present day. They're all about like ancestors. They're just all about the same thing. And it's so long. And I'm like, if I could just have the older time period, it would be like this long. I don't know. And you read something by her and didn't really like it.
I don't remember
10,000
what.
Doors or 10 Doors of
yes,
January,
I did
whatever.
not like that at all.
And so
is that her?
Yeah.
Yes,
10,000. It's not
Maybe
calling
I
to
just
me.
get it from the library.
Yeah.
Okay, the last book I have is Keeper of the Lost Cities, which I do, again, like, I've heard this is, like, compared to Harry Potter, so that is the reason that I bought it in the first place. But I just, again, there are so many books. I just don't know that I would commit to that.
Well, for me also, it's like I want to read it, but there's so many other books I want
Right.
to read, and the amount of time I have in my life to read right now, it's just like, is this
Yeah.
what you're gonna be
So
drawn to?
I don't know. If I really feel compelled to read this, I'll just get it from the library. Also, this is like really stiff, and I don't like
You don't
it.
like
I don't like
touching
the. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I have 2 books left. So this first one is The Muse by Jessie Burton, and I read this book years ago. I thought it was very interesting because there's a very large like art element to it, about an art gallery. There's 2 time periods. There's England 1967 and Spain 1936. I would honestly potentially reread this in the future just because I don't remember much about it. And it was a historical fiction that wasn't just solely about World War II, which like sounds so bad when you talk about it, 'cause obviously it was a really dark time in the world, but there's so many other time periods. Like, why do we have to latch onto that one? And so I'm always happy when I find other time periods to read about. So I liked it. I just don't think I need to own it. Also, the cover is so pretty. My last one is The Breakup Tour, and this also made me so mad because I really liked another book by this author.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What was it called? The Roughest Draft?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. And it's a husband and wife that write these books together, which I think is so cute. Especially because, I mean, I would think that the husband writes the guy's POV and the girl writes the girl. At least that makes sense to me. So when I envision it like that, I think it's really cute. This was just obviously like a Taylor copycat book, which I was fine with.
Yeah, and it sold you.
Until it just sucked. And it also felt kind of like a Daisy Jones copycat. Like, there's lyrics in the back, and they are not good.
So you don't want to take them and make a soundtrack?
Past the studio door, shaken to the floor, you gave me everything, then gave me more. Like, what is that? It's so bad. Anyways, just the book itself didn't make sense. The pacing was horrible. I thought the girl was so annoying and so ungrateful towards the male character. I just think he needs to be protected. So
He deserves better.
he does.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of things. I feel
Lots
like
of
this
thoughts.
justifies the quite a lot
I
of
feel like
books
I
I've
was-
bought since we've lived here.
Yeah, I feel like I was talking out my feelings about these books, and now I can let them go.
Okay, so it's therapeutic.
Yeah, like I feel sure about my decisions
Okay.
to get rid of them.
Solidified.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be back shortly with a combined May-June wrap-up, which, spoiler alert, doesn't have that much in it. That's okay.
But there were some good books, so we want to talk about
Because
them.
we made a cross-country move, so we're giving ourselves grace.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,